So, welcome back to the White Lotus Society. This time, or last time, we had to. Oh well, Quay still hasn't entered, but I mean I'm talking anyways. It's fine. We had a decent amount of fighting. You know, we really got past the military checkpoint and started making our trek towards the goddamn capital of the Northern Wind. You guys had a fight against some military, some of the military. Uh, you found a small abandoned destroyed village. You guys met a monster hunter named Killick that has a weird mechanical body that intakes the abilities of monsters that he kills. He was a friend of Crosswise's. And yeah, you guys were doing your long trek, long journey. And now you're here. You guys stopped in this basically ghost town that didn't have much going on other than side information. And you guys all wake up after spending the night there. Obviously Crosswise didn't sleep.
Yeah, I sparred with Mary.
You sparred with Mary a little bit. And then you woke up time. And since you were sparring with Mary, at least for now, until I think about what I could give you for that, for actively making that decision, we're just gonna say for now that you get your we'll say you get plus 10 temporary strength thing right now.
Sure.
And then because I did forget to think about the what you got for sparring with her, but it's whatever. So everybody wakes up, and the first thing I want you guys to do upon waking up is roll me a dex check instantly. Y'all know what this is for. The same as usual. 64, okay. 21, 76, 117. Yes, so everybody that is not named Osei, so it doesn't really matter for Osei, notices after checking the perimeter, after checking everything, that for the first time this journey, you are not being watched. You guys notice that the people that were tailing you before you got into this village, for some reason, either straight up just left, or they have some other place to be. They're no longer tailing you as intently. But Lake gets the implication that they could be setting up something ahead of you guys, which is why they may be missing at this current moment in time. So
Crosswise will quickly roll a D100 intelligence check to see if he thinks Killick did it. Just for the funnies.
okay.
All right. He does.
He thinks Killick did it?
He thinks Killick, he got rid of him for today. It'll be a good time. That's what he's going to operate on.
Okay. That is a valid thought process that Crosswise would have. Which, if true, shout out Killick.
Hell yeah, we love him.
We do. Even if doing his voice destroys my throat, which is why he will not be appearing this session, because my throat is fucked up right now. So you guys check around, you do your little dex checks, making sure everything's okay, and it is. You know, it's for the first time, you guys kind of are able to relax a little bit. As you, you can choose to look around the village one more time to see if there's anything, but there's one path forward, so
I will move on.
You'll move on. Will everybody else move on as well?
Yeah, I'll move on.
You'll move on.
I'll move on.
I'm gonna say, if there's something you want to look for here, you can try to look for it. We can see. There are things in this village. It's just hard to find because everything's dilapidated and burned and fucked up.
Nah.
You're good.
Did we get any chips at the top of the session?
Oh yes, correct. You will be getting the 450 from the hype build up last session. Crosswise Osei, you get your 50. Lemisk, you get your 100. Don't worry, there is opportunities for sponsors pretty soon. Probably not this session, but within the next like 2 or 3.
Okay, cool. I might see if there's. Is there maybe like a shop that sells different types of lenses for my camera?
Well, this place is fucked up. This place is.
Oh,
There's
right.
here.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
In the
if you-
future,
my bad.
if you
plausible.
want to check around and see if there is a place that could have something that like some kind of like lens or somewhere that like might have been where scientists were hanging out for some reason.
Yeah, let's do a little bit of looting.
You can do a
if we
little bit of
can.
looting.
Can I roll or something?
Roll me Agi. Roll me Agi, and then do a dex roll after as well.
Okay.
Okay. Roll me a dex check. So the Agi roll was more or less for like you just going around and like checking places out, like how much effort your character puts in. Like, does he really start searching, or does he just kind of look around? Kind of lazy about it. You do stumble upon a place that might have been like some kind of business for selling weapons and stuff. And upon looting it, you do find another like chain that you can channel Key through.
Okay,
it's
cool.
there. And it would work the same way, but I guess in theory you could find multiple uses for using 2 now that you have access to 2.
Okay.
As well as you could, I guess, those chains can be like forged into something as well, I guess, if you wanted to, but it would take more than 2.
Gotcha.
So yes, does anybody else want to search the place before y'all head out?
I want to search.
Okay, what are you going to look for, Lemisk?
Well, now that I'm corrupted, I'm trying to search for some sort of sign from God. So I'm gonna look for some holy texts. Maybe in this destroyed village, I can find something, a sign.
Yeah. Roll me a dex check, right quick. You do find a old ruined church that, despite the fact that it is surrounded by what appear to be what Crosswise found the night before, a lot of the like big chasms in the ground that look as if though there's been some kind of like legendary siege weapon through here or something. You find a church in the midst of that, next to some destroyed buildings. And I guess you can walk in there and roll. Oh, what do I want this to be? Roll me a. You know what? Fuck it. Try to roll a miracle roll. Why not? Roll me just a raw D100. That was close. Roll a D100 again. If you get the same number, that counts as a miracle roll. So you do get that.
Roll D100 again.
Yep. Damn. All right. Well, while you're in there, you can choose to take the fact that the church is still standing as potentially a sign from God, despite the ruination around it. But while you're in there, you do find a small, like holy book that talks about like it's something that you would have to read at a later point in time, but it does talk about the power of prayer and whatnot. So it could be potentially useful to you in specific as somebody who does specialize in powerful prayers. The book is just called Holy Book. Hold on, I'll write the thing out for you right now. Holy Book gives access to powerful prayers, and that is all. But yes, so you find that. We did not roll the corruption check. We can roll that now, I guess. You only get 1 corruption, so add 1 corruption to your thing. 1 corruption stack. Is that all you'll search for here?
I guess I'll search for something else.
Okay, what do you have in mind?
I'll search for a hidden Kyojin stash.
A hidden Kyojin stash in this area. Roll. Trying to think. Is there one that could be even remotely close to this area? Roll me int. $73, yeah, that's a good pass. So you have knowledge that not here, but somewhere closer to the capital, your family did have one of the 3 stashes in the Northern Wind around the capital.
But
So you remember like the path that this village leads on to, leads to the capital, and somewhere around the outskirts of the capital there exists one. So will Osei search for anything here, or will you also just head out?
I'll head out.
You'll head out? Okay. All of you head out. You guys go on your journey, and you move forward. And well, y'all are gonna roll me some D100s here.
Raw?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
you got a Miracle Man?
That no, because this is for combat.
I believed. What is a miracle roll just above 90, or is it like it changes based on?
It technically changes based on the situation, but realistically, the check is usually just a 95 or higher.
Gotcha.
Because well, it's a 96 or higher actually, because the
Gotcha.
adept
Depending on
version,
the difficulty of like
yeah, the adept
what's
version.
actually trying to be done.
Yeah. If he hadn't gotten it, it'd have been a 99 or higher.
Gotcha.
If he was still on basic.
Gotcha. That's hard.
So you guys do not have a fight. You go to a like small, well, not small. It's a pretty big lodge. It's an area that like you can tell is like meant to be like a resting spot. Somewhere that like a decent amount of people going either from this way down the road or from the road down to this way. It's like where like a place they often stop at. And you see like one of the caravans from one of Augustine's caravans outside. And you see like a few like people gathering around. Like it's a pretty lively place. You get in there, and there is you can get stuff here. It's got like a tavern built in, and some pretty like the lady working the counter is a pretty solid cook. Lake, roll me an int check. Roll me some intington.
Let me double check. If it's okay. Oof.
You know the lady that runs the place.
Huge.
She is a former general of Augustine's army named Faith.
Okay.
As of now, she is not currently in Augustine's army. You recognize that a little bit before you headed out to the White Lotus Society initially, she had like left the army like probably a yearish before that. And she runs this lodge now. That is kind of like, you know, this place because the previous owner was like her dad.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you've been here a few times when like she would take care of you when Augustine was out on a mission or something. And you know that this place has probably some of the best food in
The North Wind.
the Northern Wind as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as well as like they got a little bit of like stuff they sell here that isn't just food, like food and drinks. They've got like a few different types of like potions and stuff that are kind of helpful here. And so yeah, would anybody like to check anything out or talk to Faith?
Yeah. I do want to talk to Faith.
You want to talk to Faith? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
You
follow Lake.
you approach the front after she finishes like kind of, you know, talking to a customer, getting him something to drink, then he dips out. And you walk up and she notices you and kind of like scratches her head for a second cuz she's like not sure. She's like looking at you. She's like, I think that's the guy. Like she's like, you could tell. And she looks over to you. She goes, are you Lake?
Faith,
that
not in the
you?
army anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm kinda.
You still are, or did something happen? Something we've been noticing. I don't know, some kind of strange stuff going on with the army.
Yeah, there's... I can't really talk about this publicly, so, yeah, you come over around the back over here for a second.
Got you.
Who's that guy? She says, pointing
This
to
is-
Crosswise.
Crosswise.
Yeah, this is Crosswise. He's my partner in crime.
Partner in crime.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Sure. Fuck it. Come over here. And you two head around the counter and she kind of takes you to the back a little bit into like a place where you can tell they store a lot of like, you know, the wine and more expensive stuff. And so she kind of like brings you guys back there and she goes, do you guys know if anybody might have followed y'all in here before I talk about this?
No, we scouted beforehand and no one was following us.
Yeah,
Okay.
I told Kilik to look into it the other day, and since then, I haven't sensed.
Killick's capable. I'd believe that. I'd believe in that. So, like, ooh. So you said you've noticed some weird stuff with the army? The, like, people that have been working for your father?
Yeah. We know a few things going on too that we might be able to tell you if you let us in on what you know.
Okay. Well, I will tell you straight up, there's a good amount of traitors in his army.
Yeah. We
Uh,
kind of got a glimpse of a few guys who were working on like some sort of blood like nightmare magic.
Nightmare. Okay. Yeah,
They were-
that's...
Like nightmare science maybe.
Yeah, that would make sense. So... I mean, there's been a strange group working around here since a little bit before you were born.
Hmm.
But I'd say that they didn't really get active until, I mean, they've been active for a little while, I guess. You were kind of shielded from it. Me and Augustine dealt with them a decent amount. And I would say probably when you, like 10 years ago-ish, roughly, was when they started really getting active. But according to my, eyes on the streets, Augustine's dealing with a big problem in his forces recently. So,
Hmm.
I currently am actually working for a rebel army, actually.
Really?
Yeah, there's a decently sized rebel army around here. The problem is that
Against Augustine.
yes, but the problem is I didn't initially start it to be anti-Augustine. It was more so
Against
against the insurgents in
traitors.
his, yeah. So the problem is that he sort of was at first hiring us out as like a kind of private military service to look into his like sketchy captains and stuff and just take them out secretly. But somewhere along the line, somebody in our ranks rose up really fast and is now my like co-captain, I guess, co-leader of the rebel army, and it's kind of taken on a far bigger issue. So it's a mess.
I'm a barge in. Hey, Nev, everything good?
Everything's good. Everything's good. Everything's good. We were just asking some questions about my dad.
What? Who?
Can I?
This is Misk. He's with us too.
Yeah, my name's Lemis Kyojin.
Oh, okay. Lemisk.
Can I roll street knowledge?
Street knowledge. You. For what exactly?
If I know.
Well,
Faye.
you'd be a witch, so you wouldn't know
No,
any of the.
he's not a witch.
Oh, my bad, bro. I thought you were a witch.
No, he's a philosopher. He's a scientist.
Okay, got you.
So, which in the group is Osei. So,
I thought y'all were both witches. That's my bad.
yeah. So you want to see if you know Faith? Would you? No, you wouldn't. You were in the pin like while she was still in Augustine's military. You wouldn't.
Okay. Okay.
Also, the northern one just doesn't fucking talk to anybody.
Yeah, that's true. The other one doesn't fuck with no one. They don't fuck with nobody. Lemisk does have prior knowledge of Augustine, though. I'll tell you that up front. You do like have slight knowledge of Augustine, mainly because your group has like helped him gather supplies at one point in time when the White Lotus Society wouldn't help him. But other than that, you don't really know him that much either. What's the issue? Why are we just rushing through doors? What's all that about?
Because I can.
That
Listen, he's you kind of got to get used to.
God sent me here to protect
But
my.
what we were talking about, the Dweem Weavers.
the Dweem Weavers. No, not Dweem Weavers.
I go over to the door you like kind of went through. I stick my head out and I look around to see if anybody's a little strange, and then I kind of shut it.
Actually, you know what? You're actively looking at the other, like, people inside.
Yeah.
Roll me dex.
No problem.
Nope,
I
nothing.
didn't look that carefully.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Making sure somebody didn't follow him inside, and then I just kind of shut the door.
Gotcha.
Nobody followed him inside. I'll tell you that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You would have taken note of that. Lake's Dex passively would have noticed that.
No. I'm playing off the low roll.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, for sure. You're just like, kind of Scooby-Doo check. You're like, all right.
Yeah, just a little squint eyes, look left to right. Shut
All
the
right. It's okay.
Just checking. Just checking.
Mm. Well, I'm gonna have to
I-
roll something. Faith kind of squints at you and then goes back to talking to Lake.
Crosswise.
No, she was talking to Lake initially. No,
no,
squinting
no.
at
No,
Lemisk.
she squints at Lemisk.
Yeah. At
Oh, okay,
Lemisk.
got you.
And she's like, She goes back to talking to you, and she's like, all right. So, anyways, yes. So there's now I'm concerned about the rebel army itself.
You think that they're in the rebel army now too?
I think so. I don't know.
Do you think Do you think that they're joining or that they're infecting the current members?
That's a horrifyingly great question. I don't know.
Okay.
According to my mercenary work in the past, usually it's if they find out that the group exists, which I'm sure it's public enough that would make sense, they'll probably throw some members in. It would be
They've
pretty
definitely
common.
thrown some people in, but there is a non-zero chance that they've kept their hands clean and just brainwashed people that are currently working with us as well.
Yeah, from its creation, it would be unlikely. I mean, it would just be worth nothing when it was created.
Yes, but as of now, like, the rebel army is large, so
No, absolutely. Yeah, the co-captain could himself be an insurgent.
that's what I'm worried about. But it's that's not for me to worry about. That's something I do during the nights. During the day, I just run this tavern. That's all.
Who's your co-captain?
My co-captain, his name is Atlas.
Atlas.
He is currently working undercover in the capital.
Hmm.
He is, I'll be honest, I've seen him fight quite a few times, but I'm still not quite sure where his power set lies from. He's not a scientist, I don't think.
You'd hope not up here.
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope he's not. They don't even fuck with witches up here, so. But he might be like maybe like a ruffian from the Chained Lands, maybe a Theosophical Society guy.
Hmm.
I recognize that name.
The Theosophical Society. Yeah, it's the third society. It's like to the south of the Chained Lands, but like a large
okay.
region. Yeah.
Have you ever actually met him?
Have I ever?
It's-
Yeah.
Seems like you don't know a lot about him.
I mean, he's very secretive. I know his
Huh.
name. I've watched him fight. Me and him have had like military discussions, but
And
other
that's
than that, I don't.
That's why you're suspicious.
That and he's like weird a little bit. Like, just there's something off about him. But I've also worked with like a decent amount of freaks, so there's a non-zero chance that he just is a freak.
Yeah, we got this guy named Gil. But I don't know. I have this feeling, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm placing blame. Maybe I'm holding a grudge. But ever since we got drafted, the Dreamweavers have been moving weird.
The Dreamweaver.
We've seen their pick, Magnus, using this same sort of nightmare science. And that it just I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me. Just because they're a new team, you know.
You said Magnus?
Magnus.
Magnus. I remember a Magnus.
Yeah, I have a picture of him. I show her the picture.
God damn it! She looks at the picture, and she like looks closely at it, and then she looks at you. She goes, "Damn, y'all beat the shit out of him, huh?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we did. Yep, we did.
So there was a Magnus that he worked with your dad on a mission once. He didn't necessarily use any nightmare magic or anything like that, but he it was strange, and he did have connections to the organization that's been running around. So I wouldn't doubt us, I wouldn't doubt that he kind of got some help from them. But if that's the case, and she kind of stops for a second, and then she looks at you, and she's like, I think that's a little bit surprising, because in theory, that organization would have wanted to get you if they're connected.
That's what I said. I've literally been asking for weeks and weeks and weeks why I wasn't the first pick. We really shouldn't talk about this, actually.
No,
So I didn't realize that I
not-
was still kind of.
not like
No, yeah, I know.
that organization, they so okay, how much do, well, you probably don't remember it either. So obviously you're comfortable with these two knowing that you're connected to Augustine,
Hmm.
but so I will roll to see if she brings this up. It's gonna be a pretty hard check. She does not. It was a 115.
Is there any way that I can roll to kind of try and coax it out of her?
You can roll me int. You can try to talk her into like talking about it and roll int for me.
Okay. I'll be like, I'm trying to save the Northern Wind. Like, I don't like my dad, but I don't want something bad to happen to him.
All right. Okay. I'll allow that. That's lights. That's like more equivalent to over 115 for like what she would have. Yeah. Yeah, fine. I'll talk about this. So, Lake doesn't have like a decent amount of his early memories. Because when he was really young, his dad made a deal with that group. It was in him and Lake's favor, to be fair. But they kind of conned Augustine. And because of this, you see that arm he's got? That weird arm thing he's got going on over there? They placed,
Yeah,
they
I've been trying
placed
to.
the seeds for that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it stopped.
That
Did they only want it to
and-
go a certain amount of time? It's kind of stopped. I mean, it never really progressed after the initial burst.
Well, that's part of the reason it stopped. See, you have special genetics, kind of. I don't know much about it because even I wasn't allowed to know. But, you're the son of Augustine. I'm sure you know.
Mhm.
He's a living weapon.
Right, but
y-
I'm not. I never have
you're
been.
not. Yes. So,
What are they trying to do? Are they trying to make living weapons with nightmare energy, or?
They're
Wait, what are
more
these
so
guys?
trying to, from what I gathered back then, I don't know if they've gotten any closer to it, but they're trying to either completely control, like break the oaths of living weapons so they can control them completely, or they are trying to see if they can siphon the power from living weapons like they can nightmare creatures. Uh, Problem is, you were one of their first experiments when they conned your dad, and that led to your current situation. Um, that's something you'll have to ask him about, though, because I don't know much beyond that. I just remember being part of the rescue team for you when we did.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Damn,
You
man.
do you have anyone else here who might be able to kind of man the ship? If you were to come with us, it might be nice to have someone who's been close to Augustine for years when we're going up to meet with him. We're heading up now.
I unfortunately don't at this moment in time. However, I can teach you something before you go.
Yes, please,
I can
please.
tell your key's a little bit stronger now. So,
I've been working on it.
we can. How about this? And you know what? Anybody else who. Does anybody else in your group know anything about key? Any of you use key?
No,
I do
but
not.
No one else uses key, but I know someone who might know a little bit about it. If give me just a second, and I kind of peek my head out the door, and then I just walk over to Osei. I like walk out because I don't want to like be suspicious. Like, come over here, come over here.
Yeah.
So I walk over to Osei, and I'm kind of like, I grab his shoulder. I'm like, come with me, and we just walk back casually.
Okay.
Oh, Sir Lake. Yes, of course.
Uh, you walk back.
Look normal. Look normal.
Like normal. Uh,
Okay.
uh, okay.
This is Osei. He's well. You can introduce yourself, Osei.
I reach for my hand for a handshake. Greetings, friend. The name's Osei. Who am I having the pleasure to speak with?
Very far nicer than the other two. She shakes your hand, and she looks at you. She goes, "I'm Faith. I
Faith.
helped take care of Lake when he was growing up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So do you know anything about Key at all? And Osa, you can roll in for this, because I guess in theory he would. There is actually somebody you know that would know about Key. Osa is not the first person I would have thought.
Oh, my bad.
It's pretty funny though. So whatever. Go ahead and roll me int 90. He knows a little bit about Key. He's never used it, but there's a decent amount of witches that do know the practice of Key.
Does Terminus
Terminus.
did Terminus know about key?
Terminus knows about Key. He has not used Key.
Gotcha.
I just want to kind of just sit in and learn a little bit, just to learn.
Do any of you? Yeah, sure, you can. Does anybody else want to learn about how to use Key?
I can take a crack at it.
Ose?
Let's
Do you know
go.
a thing or
Key
two?
party. Key party.
Well, I've had past experience with it. Didn't result in anything too successful. But sure, I could take a crack at it.
Okay. Great. I'll go on break for a little bit. I can't take an extended break and go with you guys just this second, but I can take a small break and teach you guys something out back. And so she takes you guys out outside from the lodge and has one of the other workers go behind the bar for a little bit for her. And you go outside into this pretty wide open field that's on the side of the road that you walked up from the abandoned village that was destroyed. And she explains how to use ki and how to, channel the energy of oneself. So before we go any further, for all of you, I want you to, besides Lake, it doesn't matter for Lake since he already knows Key. I want you guys to roll int for me. No fucking way. This dude's crazy. Five.
Woo!
5. Okay, wow. So Osei has the chance to learn something crazy here. So you guys all understand the concept of ki and the fact that it's a unique power source. Scientists use the power of the world around themselves. Witches use the power of the earth itself. And the point of ki is that it is one's own energy source being used. It is the energy within oneself.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys all have an inherent understanding of that. And she now asks all of you to try to channel ki. I want you to roll strength for me, all of you.
Oof.
Damn.
Uh.
Damn.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. It's not too hard of a check. Crosswise and Lake both get it. You guys both channel your ki first try. And,
Try again.
you can try again, but if you try again and fail, it will deal damage to yourself. But you can try again. It'll deal like a decent amount of damage. Okay, there you
Nice.
go. Osei, would you like to try again?
Can I because Osei is able to kind of see my spirit, right?
He can. He can also connect.
Is there any way? Okay, is there any way that I can be like, Osei, look, and use ki charge, kind of charge up my ki and just show him that in a way?
Yes, if he attached his spirit chain to you, and you ki charged, he wouldn't have knowledge of how to do it per se, but he would have the feeling of it, so it would make his check easier.
Okay. Then yeah, I want to do that.
Okay, Osei, do you wish to do that?
Yes, Sir Lake.
Is there any way you could link into me? I can key charge. Maybe it'll give you a bit better of an understanding of how it works.
I've
If you
tried
want
this
to.
before. Let's do it.
I know you said you'd tried key, but all right.
Yes, it's
And
a very
then
difficult task.
right, charging up my key.
All right, you charge your ki. Take away the cost of ki charge for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Osei, roll me strength again with a +10 on it. Added to your strength, basically.
Okay.
You pass. The check is a 50, you pass. So all of you managed to charge your ki, and you're able to produce a little bit of it. Obviously for Lake, it's second nature. His ki charge has an actual effect on the environment around him, hence the spell. But the rest of you are able to access ki. It's a far harder check for Lemis because he's a scientist, but he rolled a 97, so you're still cooling. And you all produce a little bit of ki for yourself and gain the understanding of ki. Lake, I want you to roll strength for me again. You rolled the 80.5. That was pretty good. Could you roll strength for me one more time? 52.5. You rolled over 50. So that I want you to raise your max ki to 120.
Huge. Can I fill my current?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So you guys all have access to Key as a third resource now. Because you have understanding of it.
God's
and-
word.
God's work. And so you guys all have access to this. Now, Osei has a more deep understanding than the rest because when he rolled the int check, he giga passed it with the over fucking, what was it? Over 105, yeah, 113. And Lake already has knowledge of Key. So if you want, she can teach you guys a skill, or a spell rather. But if you failed the learning checks, it's gonna take like a decent chunk of your mental. Like you're gonna take a decent chunk of your mental and damage.
To use the spell?
No, to try to learn it. If you fail to learn
To
it,
try to
you'll-
learn it.
Yeah, if you fail to learn it, like if you fail the checks, then you're gonna take a decent amount of mental damage. If you succeed in learning it, then you will fully learn it. Do you guys both want to take that risk?
Well, if it's for the spirit of the group, so we can move forward, I'm ready.
Lake?
Okay. Let's do it.
All right. So, you two, begin charging your key, and I want you both to roll me. We're gonna have a few checks here, so even if you fail one, it's okay. It's a multi-step thing. So, you guys all start charging your key, both of you, and you, the other two are also gonna get a key-related spell, but it'll be developed later. This is for a key spell that like appears instantly. The rest of you need to like use your key a little bit before you can have access to yours. But she looks at both of you while you're charging your key, and I want you both to roll dex for me. Cool. That both of you pass. But you pass the dex check. You both see her key start forming behind her. Also, all you know what? Just for flair, all you guys have different key auras. What color do you want it to be? I know Lake's is like mint
Mine's
green.
green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you? What color is your key?
This is so cool.
I think until I unseal, I want it to be gray.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the other two? What color is your key?
Um,
You said purple, Amisk?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll just do a light blue.
Light blue. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yo, Misk. Sorry, I don't want to step on your character here, but what if you had like golden gun colored key,
Oh, that'd be kind of hard.
but it was like golden?
I
It's up to you. I'm just saying.
mean, my favorite color is purple. So
Yeah.
Got you. Go for it.
Yeah.
Still dope.
So you guys see the key.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
What about gold and purple?
Gold and purple?
Wait, is he the greatest?
See the great.
Wait,
You know what? Roll me a D100 right now.
Baltimore Ravens aura.
94. If you rolled a miracle,
Oh, was it a miracle roll?
Roll again. Roll again. If you get 94 back to back, I'll let you have purple and gold. Damn.
Damn it, dude.
It's okay. When you're
he ad-libbed.
when you get stronger with key, your aura does start to change. So you just got to get stronger with key. You'll eventually get there.
Okay, cool.
So you two see her start charging her key. And you can feel how strong it is. It's actually like actively shaking the ground around you guys. You see this red aura appear around her, and as you do, you see her close her eyes and then open them. As she opens them, I want both of you to roll endurance for me. So you both failed the endurance roll. But within like the same margin of error. It's not a terrible fail, so it's okay. You won it over a 60. You both take 15 stamina damage. And as she opens her eyes, you feel a like wave of her ki like be shot towards you two. And you're not able to endure it, and her ki sends you to the ground. This is her showing you the spell. It is called what is it called? The name of the spell is called Rule Through Fear. And so the idea is that it is a key-based attack that, in order to gain a full understanding of, you two will roll int for.
Okay. Dope.
There we go.
Nice.
Rolling it.
Nice. You both got over 80.
Huge.
You both understand that this move is meant to disable an opponent that is standing in front of you, as well as make them submit to you. They fall to the ground. With this knowledge, you two both get up and roll me strength to begin charging again. You just over 85. Oh, Osei cannot like bring his ki back to the same level as it was.
Lore accurate rolls.
Yeah, actually, he cannot bring his ki back to like the rate that he had it at. So Osei, I want you to roll me endurance again to see if you
Endurance.
can willpower your way through it, regardless, at the cost of some of your stamina. You cannot. Your ki fizzles out, and you're struggling to like maintain it. And as you're struggling to maintain it, I will allow you to use the link that you used with Cam earlier to try to roll strength one last time. If it does not work, you will be taking 50 mental.
Does he get the plus 10 again?
He does get the plus 10 again.
Okay, cool.
So, strength plus 10.
Strength plus 10, yes. You do not roll over the 85, but over 70. You roll me endurance again, I guess, technically, with it's not as hard of a check because you almost succeeded.
Okay.
So roll me endurance. Whoo, my God! How does he do it, man?
That lucky 100.
Last try. That check was gonna be. I mean, I said it was not as hard, but it was gonna be pretty steep, because that check was like a 90 still. So you endure through the pain. You're gonna take 20 stamina damage, but you endure through the pain and keep your ki up to like the same level as Lake's. In order to be able to like fully use the spell. Faith is impressed by your ability to endure, which is, again, that's a lore accurate roll. And so both of you begin charging your ki to try to both use Roll Through Fear against Faith, who is standing in front of you. I will roll endurance for her. Her endurance is pretty high. You two both send out your ki towards her in a wave. I want you both to roll me a strength plus wisdom check. This is in your favor because she rolled so bad.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. Yeah, you both send this wave of ki towards her, and as it flies at her, she is not able to continue standing and falls to one knee, and smiles as she looks back up at both of you, and is impressed by your ability to learn the spell. Did not expect Osei to be able to learn that, but his understanding of Key with the int roll earlier was so damn high that he got access to it. So, both of you guys will get this spell. It's Roll Through Fear. And what it does is it... I guess I'll add it to your sheets, rather. Because it has, like, damage and stuff attached to it. So, I'll add that spell in a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
But you both learn Roll Through Fear. And she looks at all of you and goes, you know, I think you guys will be fine. Honestly, I don't think you really needed me anyways. Didn't expect you guys to be so naturally inclined towards Key, especially you. And she points at not Osei, who did shock her, but she actually points at Lemisk for being a scientist that was capable of understanding Key. And you guys now have access to Key, which Key can be expended on top of other attacks, basically, to make them stronger. Is the whole thing. So I will be giving you guys Key Charge. I will just be copying it from Cam's sheet. And Cam, we will let you master Key Charge for that.
Let's go.
But you all get Key Charge, which is pretty cool. I didn't expect you guys to do so well on that.
Look, it's just another form of God.
That's some real shit. You got
It's
it.
just another form of God. Matter of fact, I'm cooking something. I'm cooking something.
You're cooking something?
Cooking something. I'm in the kitchen cooking like Future.
Word.
I'm gonna, before we leave here, grab a bite to eat, cause I love the food.
You do love the food. You do love the food. So let's do this because I'm lazy. I'm adding Key Charge to everybody's sheet right quick. So give me 1 second. Good job, everybody. Shout out to Osei with the shonen roll.
Yeah, good shit.
So, dude, Key Charge is insane on Crosswise, actually, which is what I wanted, to be fair. It should be strong on you because you're a living weapon.
Physical.
That's also true.
That too.
But you're a living weapon. Living weapons have the strongest key, generally speaking. So boom, 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 and then what is the range on that is NA? Okay. So boom, 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 and then let me add, what's it called? Let me add this. I also need to increase the resource cost on yours, Cam, because you mastered
For
it.
mastering.
Yep.
Mhm. Let me go in and check the
So there we go.
bills.
So
Yep.
yes,
You
there
already did
you
it.
go.
Appreciate you.
I will do this. I don't know why it didn't do that. Boom. Boom. I've been forgetting to add these to fucking Osei sheet, I just now realized, but it's okay. And you said you grab a bite to eat. You guys can choose. I'm trying to think of what's on the menu. On the menu is some like local stuff that Lake really likes. If it's Lake's favorite, I want you to actually roll int for me, Lake, right quick. Josh has so many buffs, so many like self buffs.
Yeah.
All right. That's great. All right, 68. That's solid enough. You know that a decent amount of the dishes around here give like they give like immunities to some, like temporary immunities to some like attribute types, as well as there's your favorite is one that gives like a temp strength bonus of 10. Oxtails, peas, and rice. Okay, Lake. All right, calm down. Calm down, white
Fire.
boy. Calm down.
Fire meal.
But yeah, yeah. So what type of meal would you guys like? I guess you should say like what kind of thing you want, and then like what kind of like thing you're looking for in food, and then I'll tell you how much it costs.
I'm gonna get the rasa pasta.
I want to eat something serene, good for my intelligence, my mind.
Something good for
A
intelligence, your
nice,
mind.
a nice tea and some herbs on some nice meat or something. Something that can chill me out.
You would pay. I mean, you can pay for what you want by troves. Crosswise, you want something that doesn't even cost that much. It costs like 30. Give yourself 5 int, like 5 int mod.
Thank you.
So yes, so I give you guys all key charge. And then I need to write roll through fear out. With Cam, you can spend
Let me get some food that's like key based if possible. Anything with
one
key.
that strengthens key.
If possible, if possible.
If possible.
If not, maybe strength.
In theory, it's possible. Let me. There is a drink here that is hard to like stomach. That if you finish it, it empowers your key.
Temporarily.
Yes, temporarily.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll have the drink.
Okay.
What's I got to row for it?
You endurance.
Endurance.
So I need this to be the tier.
Bad feeling.
You can yeah, there's no sugarcoating that one.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
You will so you're gonna take a little bit of stamina damage. You can take like 10 stamina. And then you're going to I mean, I guess this will only matter until you're able to regen again, and you guys are gonna be able to regen twice after leaving this area, this tavern. But after regenning, or after you drink it, you also lose your key goes down by half your current key. So it actually takes key away because you fucked up. So here's roll through fear. Roll through fear is gonna do that much. I actually don't have the damage calc for it yet. So we'll say whatever. It's in this many. And it's just gonna be flat. I guess I should have it be like equals boom. Or plus 5, I guess. Okay, can we talk about it? Can we talk about why that doesn't work? Of course. I'm a fool. There we go. Alright, boom. Okay. Enemy. I know that this is slowing things down, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. So that's good. Okay, I don't have the damage calc for it yet. So we'll just, for today, if it comes up, we'll just do whatever feels right. Otherwise, whatever. Boom.
Ooh, expensive.
It is pretty
To be fair,
expensive.
it is awesome though.
Yes,
So.
it'll do a decent amount of damage. I just don't have it, the calc in mind yet, so we're just gonna wing that when it comes up. So yeah, that that is that, and so it basically just, it will deal damage, but it'll also just take an action from an enemy for free, basically. So you can change your max key to 100 crosswise as well, because I think you still have it at 0. Okay.
Yeah, I
Can
can't
I-
edit it because you're on it.
Word. That doesn't make any. Oh yeah. Okay, because I was on the. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Okay. So
Can I please get a meal that increases my mental and
you
brings my back to base? maybe?
you can give yourself a meal that. Yeah. That pay me Yeah, pay me 50. You're good.
Yo, how much did I pay for
And-
the drink? I forgot to take it out.
You paid 30 for it. Or 20 for it.
Okay.
But yeah, you can get 20 to your attribute mod for mental, and then you can your stamina's at full, Lemisk.
My strength.
Your strength. Let's see. Oh, a meal for your strength. That will cost. That's a separate meal from the mental one.
All right, never mind. Then I already spent like $50 on that.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys can now head out. Had your fill. Osei read the tome. I will tell you what you got for that later. But that did matter also. I took note of that. So yes, you guys can head out.
All right. I'd like thank Faith on the way out and let her know, is there any way that I can, no, that wouldn't make sense. Is there any way that I can be like, you can contact me whenever you need? Like if you ever need me?
You can tell her just she knows
Is there
about
any way
North
that-
Eden, so if she needs you, she'll just head to North Eden.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
So yes, you guys deal with that. You head out after having your meals, unless, oh well, I guess I would say, did you want anything or no?
If there's any restaurants that got any available temporary wisdom effects,
A temporary wisdom
Or,
thing,
but that's
you
it.
can pay. It is a decent chunk of money, but you can pay 80 for 10 wisdom as an attribute mod.
okay.
I'll buy it for
We
him.
can do
I'll
that.
buy it for him.
You'll buy it for him?
Yeah.
Oh, Sir Lake.
Okay.
Don't worry
Thank
about it,
you.
man. Don't worry about it. Probably should have paid for the other guys, but I forgot. My hometown and everything.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, go ahead and give yourself a wisdom attribute mod of 10.
Nice.
And then you guys will head out and you can hit regen twice.
Cool.
And so yeah, you guys head out down the road and continue following the road for a few hours until you reach a point that Lake can recognize. So there is two paths basically. There's a path that keeps going straight and one that diverges right a little bit. Path 1 and path 2. Path 1, Lake Nose leads directly to the capital city. It leads directly to it, to the gates.
Okay.
And it's
This one leads straight to the capital.
it's faster than the other route, but the other route leads to a side entrance into the capital, and there's a little bit more on the way there. Like a little bit, like there's like another small town to visit, and there's a like farm on the way. So you guys can choose whether you want to head straight towards the capital or if you want to take the side route.
It'll be faster to go straight to the capital, but I have a feeling that I don't know. I'm uneasy about not seeing any scouts this morning. I think that if we take the easy way, we might run into some people that we don't necessarily want to. I just have a feeling. If you guys want to go that way, then we can, but I'm just letting you know. The other way will take us around to the side of the castle, which is a bit further, and we'll go through a few towns, shops on the way, but it's up to you guys. Just letting you know how I feel, though.
Well, it's a good point you make there, Lake.
But if you write about Killick, he may have taken
Went the
those
other
guys
way,
out.
to be fair. I mean, he might have taken them out, but that's not to say that they don't have more force.
Reinforcements. Mm-hmm.
Like some of, if what she told us is correct, then the forces could just come from Augustine's capital itself. In which case, Killick didn't go anywhere that close.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like all they would have to do is radio that in, or whatever service they have, if they have a earpiece like Terminus does.
And maybe we go the long way, and they're waiting for us in the village there. So
Yeah, although
I don't know.
I think what's important is what you mentioned, which is that we should operate on the idea that we're being watched regardless of which path we go. And we should watch our step.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, as much as I agree that going into the village is one thing, maybe their assumption is that if they, like, you know, let's say we did pass that village, they could use hostages. Not saying that they couldn't use hostages in any situation. But I don't know.
Might keep more people out of danger if we just
if we're the
go
ones
straight
that
on.
attack. That's kind of where my mind's at, personally.
So you want to take the quicker path?
On the low end, I think I'm more in favor of that. The quicker we can get closer to Augustine, who is waiting for our meeting, I feel like they wouldn't be able to just. The closer we get to the capital, it'll be harder to attack us so overtly if Augustine's not involved. So that's my thought process, but I'm fine with either way. But that's my personal sentiment on the matter.
That is a good
Osei and
point.
Misk, what do you guys think?
Well, at this point, we're already in enemy territory, so, I guess it really just depends on which way we get closer to the enemy. But, however, I have something more different to talk about, but I don't want to derail the conversation. I just wanted to mention that we should devise a strat or a way, especially when we engage in battle. Because, I mean, even just learning Key, I think if we're not organized in a way to direct all our energy towards the enemy, then it'll be more harder to defeat them, especially if all of the rumors are true about Augustine and how powerful he is.
They're true.
They're true.
Quite funny, Lake.
I mean, he's not better than me.
You hear Mary in the background. They're true.
But you're
Yeah, that's
here,
right,
Mary,
Sir Lake.
so doesn't really matter.
Oh,
Mary.
yeah, we do got Mary. That's right.
Yeah, where do you guys
Mary.
think we should go? Misk,
Yeah.
Mary, Muramasa.
I'm
Muramasa, could you also check if you feel any nightmare presence
Oh, yeah,
in the
yeah,
nearby
yeah.
vicinity?
I'm
Cool,
going
good
wherever
call.
Death's going.
Good call.
You
There we
fucker!
go.
Like you saved us.
Hold on. Bro's dex is really fucking high. What a fucking call. What a fucking call.
Tactical genius.
What a fucking call.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Plus 70 is crazy to begin with. Rolling a 95 is kind of just fucked.
So, you do detect
I'm glad we
That-
didn't fight that guy.
there is, yeah, I know, right? So you do detect that there is, there's something there. So he's looking around. He's kind of like closing his eyes, using his quote unquote sixth sense, resonating with his nightmare energy to try to feel something nearby. And he turns to the group and goes, so it seems like there's some pretty dangerous nightmares around here. In general. But I would say that that right path definitely is there's something nightmarish coming from over there. I can't tell if it's inherently hostile or not, but there's a decently sized nightmare presence to the right as opposed to going straight.
I see. When you say decently sized nightmarish, if you could compare it using Lemisk's amount of corruption.
It feels like multiple beings worth.
That is a lot.
I think we have to go that way. If those nightmares get to the village, I mean, we just saw what they might have done to the last one.
Yeah,
I
agree.
agree, but I would only do so if you two, I point at Lemisk and Lake, stayed pretty far away. Like
Yeah,
in the back.
I'll be far away. And Mary, Muramasa, we're gonna need you guys' help.
Yeah. I mean, that's, you've seen what I can do. I mean, we can kill some nightmares, kind of. I would hope so.
All right.
All right, we'll head there properly prepared, and then I make note that Osei, you bought some traps and bombs, right?
He bought.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. He
I
has
bought some potions.
potions. Yes.
If they look to not be humanoid enough that their intelligence is somewhat bad, I think you should prepare some sort of trap we can probably get them into. Otherwise, I think bombard them. What's your Lake and Lemisk? What's your throwing distance?
Mm, 41.
Throwing distant. 16.
So, Osei, maybe give something you want thrown to Lemisk so that we have an extra arm on us for early combat.
Okay, sounds good. I'll give Lemisk 2 fire potions.
All right.
Would have had you too if it wasn't for your meddling DM.
Well, we will proceed in that direction very carefully. And I'll make sure Lemisk and Lake are somewhat in the back, but let's say Mary and Muramasa are even behind them, just in case we get.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be out.
You want to
in front
split up
mostly.
Mary and Muramasa? Just have one in the
not-
back?
One in the back. Oh yeah, I guess.
Because if we have Muramasa, like, or just Mary back there, like, I think we'll be all right if someone flanks.
That's
He-
fair.
I mean, yeah, I can sit in the back. It's fine.
I think Muramasa should be. I think I should be behind Muramasa since Muramasa is our scanner, and
Well, what I was thinking is putting Muramasa in the far back in case we get flanked. I would be up
Yeah.
front with Osei and Mary, I suppose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Lake and Lemis can kind of hover around where Muramasa's at, but Muramasa can
Yeah.
hang slightly
Yeah.
further back so that he can watch.
Well, we gotta
first.
stay. Well, I gotta stay a decent.
You guys have to
bit
stay a
away from him.
decent amount away from Muramasa, anyways.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
both do. We both do. Yeah.
squad. I'm squad 7.
Prop
Yeah.
squad on the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
We'll do that.
you guys, yeah. So you guys head to the right. There's no roll here because you guys are actively alerted to the presence of enemies, so you know that there's nothing here. And you make it to a small farm that is obviously used for like resources, by like nearby towns and partially some of the capital. Like this place sends resources to the capital. The farm is not. It's weird because everything looks fine, and there's stuff you guys could take. Like it's pretty resourceful and it doesn't look destroyed at all, but it seems abandoned, as if recently fled. All of you roll int for me. This is a really hard check, but we'll see. All you roll int. So Lake gets the inclination that this farm is actually where like you guys met. You guys have met multiple people on this journey towards the capital, and he believes that one of the people you met in that early refugee town was actually somebody that ran from this farm down to that village to take shelter. And so you know that this place is like freshly abandoned. It's not like nobody's here. But I'll give Josh, roll me an int plus, what the fuck is, roll me an int plus 10 because of worldly knowledge.
Okay.
You can deduce that a decent amount of the plants around here are useful for, like, obviously if you wanted to make potions for stuff and like food or whatever, obviously, but a lot of it is stuff for like getting rid of like different types of like ailments placed on you, as well as some plants that are good for giving like slight ice or cold immunity if like mixed into something. So you guys can rummage around and look for certain types of stuff if you want.
I think I'll just kind of like offhandedly kind of like swoop my hand through the plants and like grab some pieces of it,
Okay.
like tearing up grass.
Okay.
And then be like, "Oh, so you have any clue what this stuff is?"
Yeah, those you talking about the plants?
Yeah, sorry, I probably shouldn't have done that. I just wasn't thinking about it.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I know that some of the plants here give I guess relief to temporary effects that may cause pain to oneself. But we would have to make something out of it. But we might as well grab everything we can, you know, since we don't know what we're getting into.
I turn to Osei and I say, pain relief.
Yeah. But we
Hmm.
would need to know how to make something to relieve the pain, like I guess prior knowledge to that.
Say, well, I don't know much, but there's these commercials I've seen with Shaquille O'Neal in them.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
Yeah, he's a
Please do
ball
tell.
player. It's
Ah,
like
bouncing
icy
balls on the
hot.
courts, huh?
It's called icy hot.
Icy hot.
Yeah, you put it
Hmm.
on a pain area, it kind of like cools it down, warms it up,
Ooh, that sounds pretty effective and
kind of soothes it.
expensive.
I don't know, maybe we could try and make
okay.
some of our own.
Maybe I can look through my book of information that I've gathered and see if maybe I can find something similar.
Oh,
I'd really
God.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Hopefully it
Thank you.
works out. Of
Thank you very much, Osei.
course, anything for you, Sir Lake.
And anything for you too.
I'd like to say a prayer for this village.
You can say a prayer for the farm. Actually, roll me a D100. So through prayer, roll me a wisdom check now.
Can I say the prayer?
Yeah, say the prayer and then roll me a wisdom check after. You got it.
Okay. I'll get down on my knees. I look at the rubble. And I get a piece of wood that was fallen.
Mhm.
And I look up to the sky. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you with our hearts heavy with sorrow for this farm that once stood strong, now broken and scattered. Lord, you see the tears, the pain, and the loss. The homes has turned to rubble, the laughter silence, the memories burned in dust. You are the God who sees, who hears, who walks with the brokenhearted. We lift up every soul impacted by this destruction. Shelter those left without shelter. Feed those who are hungry. Heal those wounded physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Let your comfort descend like rain on dry land. Where there was despair, bring hope. Where there was devastation, plant the seeds of renewal. Lord, restore what was lost, not only buildings and fields, but the spirit of community, trust, and peace. Let this farm, let these villages raise again in your power. Let it become a testimony of resilience, a symbol of your grace and glory. Surround the survivors with compassion through neighbors, through aid, through miracles. And for those who mourn, hold them in your arms. Remind them that you are near the brokenhearted and save in spirit. God of justice and mercy, let there be peace. Let there be healing. Let there be rebuilding. And let this place, though scarred, become a place where your light shines even brighter than before. Amen. I look to the camera and I say to my people, you see this. You see what is happening here in this land. Our comrades are hurting. Please, come. Come to our village. Please. Every $100 raised at the casino will be given to relief here.
Roll me a wisdom check. Roll me wisdom. I mean, it's still a good effect. You got a miracle roll no matter what. So after this prayer, after the world watches Lemis Kyojin cast a miracle before their very eyes on the cameras, gleaming light from the sky above descends down upon this farm that, although not entirely destroyed, has definitely seen better days. Recently abandoned and freshly picked of all its crops by your group and scavengers before you. And the world watches as all of the snow in the area, all the snow around you dissipates. The grass turns green again. The plants begin to grow. Sunflowers begin rising around this old dilapidated farm. And
I use key charge.
yeah, that's
As I-
hard. That's hard.
As
That's
I
hard.
raise my hands and the sun beams. You see my aura, my key.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The world watches on as this golden ray shoots behind Lemisk, who is now clad in a spiritual presence around himself that is unbeknownst to those who practice science for the most part. Ki is not a commonly known thing. They perceive it as something otherworldly. And Lemisk's, kind of in this moment, the world looks on as a man that was once known as a demon, as a violent, criminal, is now seen as something much greater. Something much greater. And I want you, Lemisk, to, since you now have given yourself the miracle roll, I want you to give yourself a temporary 5 to wisdom. Everybody in the group has their stamina healed to full, if it is not full. And I will roll another check right quick. Okay, don't worry about it. And after this roll, you guys also we'll say that Osei and Lake beforehand had 5 of the the plants that they were looking for. They had 5 plants that were specifically used for getting rid of debuffs basically. And you guys will also get an extra 3 plants that you can use to make a crazy potion you don't know the effects to yet, because this is a plant that Osei has not documented that has sprouted here from the miracle that Lemisk has just casted. And yeah, you have successfully done your first miracle roll, Lemisk. So shout out.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful monologue.
Yeah, that was great. That was amazing. It was hard.
Thank you.
So yeah, you guys move on from this farm that you have given holy life to. And after leaving the farm, you walk up the road a little bit and you recognize from Muramasa's scouting that there are potentially nightmares in this area. So, this won't be a hard check at all. I want you guys to roll dex for me. Okay. All of you but Lemisk noticed this, but it doesn't matter because he's in the back anyways. It would only matter if he was at the front of the crowd. You guys all notice, walking in front of your path, that there are two nightmare wyverns that look excruciatingly similar to the Solus you once fought before. This is kind of shocking, seeing as the Solus was originally like a test, right? This was an experiment that was meant to kind of create a false philosopher's stone. But to see two nightmare wyverns in front of you that look that way, kind of tells you that something bad could be happening in the vicinity. You can choose to dodge them, or you can choose to take care of them here and now with like obvious advantage. You guys will, all of you will be going before them in combat. What do you want to do?
Mary. What do you think we should do here?
She stops for a
'Cause
second. And she just...
those look scarier than normal, right?
Not really.
Maybe not to you.
Yeah, that's just a large creature, but
It's
They are bigger than the Solus you fought before as well. They are larger.
they don't remind you of, I don't know, maybe thing we turned into the commissioner, won a bunch of land.
yeah, they look pretty similar. Though, does it look like these things flew in?
No. They have been in this area for a little bit. There are tracks behind them. Leading from a watchtower you can see kind of in the distance.
Osei raises his hand. If I might add, friends, I think we should conserve our energy. I don't know if this would be a smart idea engaging in battle, though we don't have to.
Augustine, according to Killick, hired him to deal with creatures like these. So, it's tough to say, though. We could, if we did sneak on by or something, we could let everybody know of what we saw. So it's, I mean, I guess it would get dealt with in some way, shape, or form, but it's up to, I'll give the, lake, it's your homeland. If you would like me to fell these beasts, then I can help you out.
These aren't, I don't know. It's not like anything I've seen before, especially in the Northern Wind.
True.
They're likely not natural to here.
The fact that there's already two, the fact that they're not natural to here, it makes me feel like we need to take care of this immediately.
Well, we wouldn't be taking care of whatever produced them. We would just be killing the monster.
Sure, but
like,
don't know
think
what
about
they're
this from the
capable of.
perspective of the person who created them, right? Imagine you, like, created two large monsters, and you just let them go near a farmland, near a capital. Your assumption, I would suppose, is that it would either make Augustine look bad because he's not able to protect his own country, or it would lure Augustine or some of his warriors out of the capital. Somebody strong enough to deal with them, right? So, yes, we can handle it. I think that's evident for sure. But I don't think it wouldn't stop the the initial intention of them being sent here in my mind. Like the person who created them would create more.
Hmm.
But I don't disagree that slaying them isn't useful because it does prevent Augustine from having to send forces after them. But it doesn't. If we end up fighting them and then Augustine arrives for the sake of argument, then it didn't work. Like or it like I guess we didn't actually help anything, given that it did lure Augustine out in a theoretical.
Mm.
But I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, if you need me to kill them, I'll kill them. But I think it's important to look
If
at
you and
the,
Osei are both against it, I don't want to go against that. What do you think, Miss? And matter of fact, Miramasa,
Ah.
have you ever seen anything like this?
I've seen them doing tests on dragons before, not specifically these kinds, I guess. I'd argue that, let me actually think on that. Hold on a second.
All good, all good.
Nope, he does not remember. I don't know. I haven't seen these like anything like this in specific, at least not that I can remember. I guess I would argue that you know I'm partially responsible for some of the nightmares that have been running around here. I broke out of a lab, destroying it in the process, let out a few monsters. I've been trying to go around and kill a few of them. But you know, they're also drawn to my high level of nightmare energy, so.
Well, do you think you could take care of these guys?
Take care of these guys. He like looks at them for a second. He
Just with me and Misk, I don't know if it's the best idea for us to try and jump in, even though that's kind of my instinct.
I mean, I think part of the problem is if they leech anything from me, they'd get stronger. It's not a matter of if I could kill them, like I probably could, but the problem is that if either of them manage to escape from me after, say, biting me and leeching any of my energy, then they're just stronger nightmares because of the concentrated corruption flowing through me.
Well, we don't want that. What do you think, Misk?
It's okay. I think we should follow our hearts.
Well,
Seems like our heart is at the capital. So let's
But,
try and
like,
get
if you
around these
need-
things.
I could fight them, and you guys can go ahead if that's what you want.
I don't know. We've already got enough.
I would just have to stall them until you get reinforcements, but still.
We've already got enough corruption going on, and I definitely don't want to get to the capital without you.
it's a valid point.
Very sweet of you. Like, he places his hand on your other shoulder.
Yeah. And I wouldn't advise to disband. We have to stick together, guys. We're stronger together.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. If you guys want, you can attempt to sneak past them. It won't be too hard because, one, their nightmares, which aren't super, their senses aren't super great, and you guys are, have full knowledge of like where they're looking and where they are and stuff.
Are there any more like places that we would encounter prior to the? I guess I don't know if that's even a question that you can answer.
Prior to
us getting to just the capital, I'm wondering if it would be better for us to just go back and take the straight path. Okay.
Roll it. You know that past these guys, there's obviously that watchtower in the distance that's connected to
Mhm.
like a somewhat small guard outpost, but that that should be sending people out right now. So the fact that it's not's a little scary. And then there's a small town just before the entrance of the capital. It's technically part of the capital, but it's kind of like on the outskirts. And then
Okay.
you would be in the capital city of Charlemagne. So you can like that, you know that.
Okay. Well, I think we should try and sneak past these guys. The capital city is up ahead, and we should warn everyone there. Try and get them out.
Good idea.
Hmm. Yeah.
So you guys, if you are attempting to sneak, you can roll Agi for me. However, Lemisk and a Lake,
Mhm.
you're gonna have a -5 because Nightmare Corruption is detectable.
Got you. Is that how that works? Okay.
That'll work.
Yes, that's fine, and you sneak past. That's fine. It's not a hard check. In fact, now that I think about it, like Muramasa and Mary both pass it just passively. Lemisk passes, of course. I need Osei and
Osei.
Crosswise. Crosswise, nice roll. And Osei, nice roll. Okay. Everybody makes it through no problem. You see them turn around, and as they do, you guys kind of walk into the guard outpost a little bit just to check on things, see like, hey, what's going on in here? Why are they not sending nobody out here? And you see like there is a decent amount of stuff in here. It looks as if people got ready to go do something. Like a lot of the weapons are missing, but stuff is like strewn about. Like you can tell that something happened here in a hurry and might be linked to why Augustine was asking outside sources for help rather than his own military, which is very rare of him. So I suppose I'll ask, would anybody like to look around for any ideas for something to look around for?
This is the external village, you said?
This is
Or is...
this is like the guard outpost before the village.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll can you paint the picture on this guard outpost? Is it like a fort, like it's square, or is it like a tower, like it's cylindrical?
It's
Or is it just
it's mainly a tower. It's got like this big
Okay.
watchtower that like
Like a
extends
lighthouse type
up,
thing?
kind of a lighthouse type thing. There's like a small building attached to it at the bottom that you can like walk into. It's got a small little barracks there.
Does it have like
so yeah.
slats like you would shoot arrows through?
Does it? No, because you would just use the top of the watchtower for that.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I'll jump up it or climb if I
Yeah,
have
you
to.
can climb up it. It's climbable.
Okay.
There's like a ladder there you can go up.
Alright.
You can go up the watchtower and you can roll dex for me.
No problem.
You beyond the two nightmare wyverns that were walking in front of you, you look out and see everything in the vicinity. It looks, you can see actually bodies of some nightmares on the ground in like the forest, like, you know, a decent ways out. You can tell that like there was definitely a battle with monsters here. Is probably related to, you know, all the people that left this guard outpost that looks somewhat attacked. And is probably related to what Killick was here for. You can see to the village connected to the capital that they have their gate closed, but you can see there's still people in there. They're still relatively chilling. They haven't been directly attacked, but it seems like the capital is getting like not pulverized by monsters, but like there's something up. Like they're trying to attack the capital actively.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay.
So it's not as dangerous as immediately thought, but it's also not like it doesn't look great.
Alright, I slide on the ladder and I let Lake know. Like, I think there's an attack an active attack on the not just the outskirts here, but maybe even a little bit internally. The capital looks to be fortifying their defenses, and they've sustained some damage. So it might have initially attacked here, maybe even stealth to some degree, and they sent out a lot of their forces, kind of maybe even pushed it back a little bit, shut the gate. But we're gonna need more info from somebody who's unfortunately more equipped, probably closer to the city.
All right, let's get there quick then.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Would everybody else want to head out, or is there anything else you would like to look for in this area?
I'll tell to Lake and Osei and Lemis to like quickly just check for, like, in this camp, like check for supplies, primarily like potions or other things. Just see if it's dried out. If it feels like they left in a rush, then it will be flush. If it feels like it's empty, then they were able to equip a little bit. It wasn't a surprise attack.
All right, I'll
Yeah, everybody.
just kind of rummage around a little bit.
Yeah, everybody roll dex for me. It's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. So, Osei is able to tell, after looking through quite a few things, a few drawers, a few chests, that it doesn't seem as dire as initially thought. They managed to get out with most of the supplies. It seems pretty empty, for the most part. It seems like a lot of the people from here probably did what they could and then moved inward to the outskirts city. And that's how they're fortifying their defenses so fast. A lot of the guards from this outpost immediately went back there and pushed back whatever monsters attacked. You also get, like, you're looking around for any kind of healing supplies, anything like that, and there is nothing that you can find. So you're like, oh, okay, like this place is
That's good.
pretty cleaned out. That being said, Lemisk, you rolled really bad, so you actually get a good thing for that here. Roll me dex again. That's good enough. So you were distracted while looking by a sheet of paper, well, kind of like a wanted poster that you found.
Uh-oh.
So there's a wanted poster that has a strange man that's apparently been lurking around stealing from villages in the area, from what you can gather. It's a decently high bounty. It's about 5,000 chips. For a man that looks... Roll int for me. For a man that looks to closely resemble one of your sons. It does not. It states that his last known location was a. You don't really know the names of any of the villages, but it doesn't seem to be in the direct vicinity. However, you can gather that they do not have data on the most recent appearance of him. Like, they don't have data on where he might be. Pretty barren. And then roll dex for me one more time, because that led you on a paper trail that you couldn't find the papers pertaining to, like, the cross-referencing. There's like a little note scribbled on the bounty poster that talks about a file that they have here, that they were trying to cross-reference for like where his locations might be at. You do not find it. So apparently that's something that was taken with them. But you have knowledge that there is a man that you feel like could be your son, that is, making a name for himself in not the greatest way in the near vicinity. And you guys can begin to head out.
All right.
I'll navigate towards their gate and see if I can contact some.
You walk up to the gate. And I will roll. Currently, I will roll. I will roll this. Nobody notices or wants to pay attention to anything that's thumping on the gate currently, because that is perceived as like it could just be a monster or whatever. They don't want to interact with nothing. I will roll to check, however. Does a guard pass by? No, not this side of the wall.
I'll climb the wall.
You'll climb the wall. Okay, crosswise. Alright. So the walls are probably about they're pretty high. They're probably about 30 meters high. So you would probably have to do like 3 climbs here.
Okay.
Do I know if this is like a terrible idea?
He for
Climb,
crosswise
like,
specifically,
almost 20 meters.
he'll probably be fine. Oh yeah, you are almost
Okay.
20 meters. 19, 19. Yeah, never mind. It'd be twice. You have to climb. So you, go ahead and yeah, you can climb. Roll strength for me for the initial like staying on the wall after you jump on it. That's good enough. Like your 35 is like pretty damn. It's just over 50 for that. So you begin to climb. You can climb some more. And after your next climb check, a guard will pass by on the wall and look down.
Perfect. Want me to roll again?
Yeah. Do your next climb
No
check
problem.
just to make sure you can hold on to the wall. Yep, barely passes. That's scary. So the guard looks down, and he notices all of you at the bottom, sees Crosswise just now like getting up the wall, right? Like he's like
Vault
right
the
there.
ledge. Yeah.
And he looks down and realizes that the banging on the gate was not from some kind of monster or something. And he... Holy shit. He recognizes that, he recognizes Lake. He looks down, he says, oh shit, that's Lake. And so he assumes that he's like, okay, everybody around here is probably Lake and his friends, so hold on. And so he helps Crosswise up the wall, and he shouts an order down to, open the gate for a brief moment, and then when questioned, he screams Lake's name, and they instantly start opening the door.
We're on a urgent summons from Augustine, but we're here to help you guys. And I pat him on the shoulder and I said, "Thank you so much for all you've done to protect these people."
Oh, wow, that's very valiant of you. Okay, thank you. You.
I mean, you're doing the hard work. You're making sure these people are safe.
I
mean, Augustine's own. He might have been destroyed if not for you. That gate right there.
Of course.
Done a lot.
Of course. Yeah, maybe I deserve a raise. Maybe.
I think so. With how much work you have to do to make sure these places are safe. I mean, look out there. There's twin dragons approaching at the castle.
There are.
You among your men.
Yeah.
Making sure everybody here is safe. Who else but not you deserve praise?
And then he kind of like looks up and he's like, they should have made me captain. Why didn't they? He's all of a sudden like questioning himself. The gates open and you guys are told to hurry in by the guards. As the gate begins opening, one of the dragons begins to fly off. It's not like it doesn't pay attention. But the other dragon, which this will be a very hard check, but I'm gonna have it roll Dex. So it does not pass. So it does not notice the gate opening. So you guys can get in, no problems. They close the gates behind you, and the other guard helps Crosswise down to the rest of you guys. Through a ladder they
thank you.
have nearby. And you you guys can they already know about the Augustine thing. These guys, you can tell, are not like plants. They're like normal ass guards. They're not, they immediately were like, oh, we need to help Lake. They immediately are like, they know your deal with Augustine. So they're fine with it. They tell
I
you
mean, if they're insurgents, they would let them in. That would be terrible.
Yes, that would be really bad for them. And so they kind of tell you guys about like a nice like bar nearby and like an inn, and they're like, you guys can rest there. There's gonna be a guy to pick you up to visit Augustine tomorrow. Also, I did make a thing for it. There we go.
I give each of the knights, I guess like the 3 or 4 nearest to me,
Yeah.
5 gold to pay for their drinks later in the.
Oh my god, look at this guy. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. And you guys have made it to the city of Charlemagne, the capital of the Northern Wind. You can look around for supplies and things of that nature. You can head to the inn. You can meet with the messenger from Augustine, and you will be, you will, rest here, and then the next day you will go talk to Augustine. So what do you guys want to do here? What do you want to get up to?
I want to go try to find the cache,
The cache.
the Kyojin cache. Maybe search for clues about my boy.
You can search for the files on. Yeah, you can roll me. Actually, yeah. So you can roll me a dex check when you're passing by the place where the knights are at on the outskirts of the city. As you're passing by, you can see if like any of them are the one, like they have it on their person or anything. No, you don't notice it. You don't notice any of them having like the notes on your boy on their person. You don't notice anything about like there being any kind of like notes nearby. Like nobody was sitting on, like there's none of the desks that are set up around here or tables where the guards are sitting have the notes on them. So you do not see that. You said you want to try to find the secret like hash that you used to have. So you roll int for me. You do not necessarily remember where around here it was. You don't remember if it was inside or outside the outskirts of Charlemagne, but you know that it's within this vicinity. And roll in for me again. That's good enough. So you gather, like, you think about it some more and think like, if your son is in hiding, then he might be using like one of the, places that you had around here back in the day. And so you think that finding the book with the information on him is like, you should try to find that. Because it probably pertains to the areas where your like hideouts used to be. And then Crosswise Crosswise and Osei, you can find a library. I mean, it's a big city. There's a library here.
Perfect. I would say, yeah, I'm thinking maybe something this large will have more chance, especially with Augustine having traveled to and from the Chained Lands in recent time. Maybe if not in his personal library, others have trade routes to that if he has trade routes.
Yes. Yeah, we can definitely do that. But on the way, I would like to stop by any place that we can craft some more potions potentially.
Of course. Anything for USA, I'll discuss with Lake about that. And I progress over to Lake and I say, Lake, you're curious if you know a pharmacy or an alchemic exchange that could help Osei with crafting the potions that we'll need going forward.
Um, Lake can roll in for that, yeah.
Won't.
Lake does know
Sure do.
of yeah, he does know of there's an area on like deeper inside town that is like it's a basically a pharmacy. Um they also have like a few things there for like taking care of like refilling key a little bit. So like there's a place that you can go. It's there. They don't necessarily allow people to like make their own stuff there, but I mean, you could probably convince them like, hey, can I use this thing so we can do this thing? Um, so yeah, like that exists.
Wow, thank you, Lake. That's perfect.
Of course, you guys want me to take you?
Thank you. Yes, of course.
Please do.
Um, you
Lead the way.
you take them to this pharmaceutical area. You take them to this building that's like a little bit further into the capital, into like the actual bigger city portion of it. You find this building and roll dex for me, Lake. The building has not changed. I was gonna hoe you and give you a 40 or less. The building is not the same as you remember it, and it's no longer a pharmacy for the haha funny. But no, it is still the same. You are totally fine. You get there and you know, it's a normal pharmacy. Obviously, you don't really recognize people working there. Besides, it's like a pretty big building. It's like just the average person working there.
Yeah.
But you know, you can go in there and talk to them a little bit about potentially getting them to like help you guys with like trying to either buy some stuff, or you can like ask them if they'll let you like use their like benches or something to work on your own shit.
Hey, do you guys have anywhere we can maybe try and craft some potions?
We really just sell them, but uh I guess if you guys have the resources for it, we could maybe allow you. I get it would cost a decent amount of money though.
How much?
You'd be going into the back, and we'd have to like ensure you wouldn't steal anything. So, probably like 100.
Please, sir,
don't,
like I got this.
Oh shit.
Well, hold on.
No, I insist.
Hey,
Please. You've done so much for me so far in this journey. This is
I-
the least
I-
I can do.
I really appreciate it, Osei, but I don't know. I think I might want to try something here.
Oh.
I'm kind of
Try
like
something.
I'm not sure if you guys know who I am.
Uh huh.
I'm Lake Durant.
Lake Durant.
Yeah,
Roll
like-
int.
Like Durant.
Roll int for me, you Lake. Yeah. I'm not buying it.
You we Do you guys have TVs in here?
Um,
Any anything? I mean,
You know, like we have them around here, I guess. Like we have the ability to see stuff. Why?
I don't know. I figured you would have seen us. We've been on camera.
You've been on camera?
Yeah, for days and days and days. I mean,
Uh,
we're with Graham's disciples,
uh,
White Lotus Society.
nah, I haven't. I don't pay attention to the whole.
God, you guys see why I fucking left?
I don't pay attention to the whole. What is it? The Slayer Core thing? I don't. That's not really.
I mean, okay. Well, look. Have you at least seen the? Have you seen those commercials with Shaq?
Oh my god, such a stupid bit. Fine, we'll roll to see if he's seen the commercials with Shaq, who doesn't even fucking exist in this universe. No, he has not seen the commercials with Shaq.
Okay. All right.
If I'd have rolled an
man,
85 there, he actually would have, and I'd have been pissed.
Whatever, man. Osei, why don't we split it?
You sure?
Yeah, of course. I'm rolling, dog.
Okay, if you say so. Okay, I give him 50
Yeah,
chips.
I give him 50.
I'm surprised you didn't just call Mary over to intimidate him. Intimidate him.
Didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Bro would not know. Bro wouldn't know who she is.
It don't matter. She can just aura it. But yeah, you guys pay 50 each. Unless, actually, Crosswise, do you want... So the situation currently is this guy doesn't know who Lake is and isn't buying the fact that he's actually Lake. The guy at the counter. And they would have to pay 100 to be able to use like any of their crafting materials or like tables or anything. And so do you want to do anything about this or just let them split the 100 like they're about to?
Hello, good sir. Do you run this establishment?
I don't run it, I just work here.
Oh, that's totally fair. Would we maybe be able to talk to somebody higher up? Nothing to do with you. I just, you know,
Of course.
I think. Well, no, this is absolutely the case. You know, have you seen what has happened outside the gates, not too far from what you are dealing with?
Yeah, they said something about monster attacks have been happening a lot recently.
Yeah, and there's twin dragons out there, wyverns corrupted by nightmare energy. We just came from there. You really think that we were, if we just walked from right there to here, that we aren't who we say we are?
I don't know who the fuck you guys are. He says he's Lake.
Yeah, and that's correct.
I'm not
That
buying
is
it.
who he is.
How long have you
Okay.
lived here, man?
Like 5 years.
Well, that would explain it.
That's so annoying.
Either way, if we could talk to somebody who's higher management, that would be very nice.
Fine.
I'm not coming back here again.
And he he walks into the back, and you see this other guy walk out, and he's kind of kind of a bigger guy. He's like slightly smarter than the other one that was working here. Does he recognize Lake? He immediately recognizes Lake.
Okay.
And he walks out the door. His eyes are kind of like low. He looks over. He sees Lake. His eyes widen. He walks back through the door. You hear like cartoon punch sound effect. And then the guy walks back out like terrified, and he's like, "You guys can go back there."
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. I really
You know,
appreciate it. I really
We've been really
appreciate
dealing
it.
with a lot today, and you know what? You're a great man, and you run a great company. Just make sure that guy stays out of front desk. And he hands
I
him
love
10
this
coins,
place. I love this
10
pharmacy.
chips. I hand him 10 chips.
Oh, of course. I mean, hey, Lake. Let me know if he ever wrongs you. I mean, he's just, yeah, he hasn't been working for us long. We aren't losing that much.
Of course. Hey, you know what? He didn't do anything wrong. Let him
No,
keep his
like
job. Just
you don't have to lie for him. I think it's important that when people are pushed to the ground and they're treating other people poorly, especially in this climate and all these wars that are happening in this infrastructure, you really think that the people at the end of the day, those farmers we walked past, you want them to deal with this guy when they're trying to get their medicine for their elderly?
Well, you know what? I don't think that I should be treated any differently just because of my last name.
That's correct, but he should be treated differently for how he supports the people.
using it to get into the fact.
I would agree that I don't think he should be dealing with the elderly, the people who are really
Maybe
paying
just
for
keep an eye on
medicine.
him. Keep an eye on him. You know, 3 strikes.
Mm-hmm.
I think you struck him 3 times already, but I think he should be fired.
Nev, I think we should listen to Crosswise here, Nev.
Hey, I really appreciate it, guys. I understand, but there's not a lot of work up here. Guy just seems like he's kind of making me.
Think about it, Lake. He could be a soldier out in the front lines. He can understand what it's like.
Well, let me talk.
But he
to
lives
him.
here in the capital, the pristine capital of Augustine's established place, in a pharmacy. He probably gets overpaid.
You want to talk
You
to
guys
him?
mind if I talk to him? Let me just one-on-one, maybe.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you can head back there and talk to him. Go for it.
Hey, hey, man.
Uh-huh.
So, misunderstanding. I noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking idiot, dude.
Okay, all right.
Fucking idiot.
shit.
Maybe just listen. Like
Well,
I told you. I
how
don't know.
I-
Like
oh-
who would lie? Who wants to be me? If y'all don't have TV, it's so ridiculous, bro. So stupid. I'm like
'Cause you're the
really
son of the
your whole shit
guy.
right now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look it up sometime. Most famous person from my high school, maybe. Jesus Christ. We're gonna let you keep your job this time, dude. This time. Super nice to meet you. I'm gonna head back, but just yeah, fuck yourself.
You close the door.
I handled it, guys.
You close the door behind you and walk
Yeah,
out.
sounds like a good conversation. I'm sure he'll think twice about what he does.
Yeah.
By the way, you should get this done, Osei.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
You guys head to another room on the side. It goes to the same door that led to that back room where he just talked to the guy. But like, there's another door on the side that's like, you can tell it's where they keep a few of their like important things, also where they make some stuff. And you guys can attempt to make some stuff. Roll some int checks for me, gang.
Dang it. I hit the 7.5. You know how it is. I'm not helping that much right now.
You ain't doing shit, boy.
I look at the little
Damn,
labels that
damn.
Osei
Me
tells
either.
me to grab, and I hand them to.
Lemisk saves the gang here. Lemisk can work with the, he prays a little bit over the herbs as he's mixing them. A few of the plants, he puts them together. He kind of starts concocting some potions a little bit.
Can I use street knowledge? Can I use street knowledge?
For what?
Making
Picking
drugs.
Picking up.
Bro's cooking up.
I guess if you want to use the materials on not their original purpose, yes, you can use street knowledge plus int.
Alright, cool. Kill.
Nope. You've never dealt with these herbs before in that manner. You just know how to make the healing variants of them because it's partially due to your prayers in enchanted words giving the potions more power. And using the herbs you guys got, Lemisk makes roll dex for me. He makes 4 of the potions each for you guys. There are 2 different types of potions you guys get. One is a regular ass healing potion that will heal. It'll just straight up give you 100, straight up. And then The other potion that he gives you guys is like frost resistance, basically. That prevents you from being frozen from attacks by enemies that may freeze you. So you guys each get 4 of them things.
Or each of those types.
Yes, 4 each of both of those types. So you would get 4 of the healing ones that heal 100, and then 4 of the frost resistance ones.
So this would use up all of the plants that I received.
Yes, it would use up all of them. Correct.
Okay.
Heal for
Even the mysterious
100.
one?
The mysterious one you got from the miracle roll? No, it does not use that.
Okay.
Just the. So it's the 8 original ones that we had, and then you had like the extra miracle roll one that you
Yes.
weren't sure what it was. Got you,
Yes.
got you. So it heals for 100, and then
Frost resistance.
frost resistance.
And yeah, that is that. You is there anything else the gang would like to do?
Personally, I want to meet Augustine as soon as possible.
Me
if
too.
Possible.
Okay.
But I did need to do the book, I guess.
Yeah, you guys can go to the library. You guys can go to a library around here. And
Just
go.
Just a heads up to you guys with some of our libraries.
There's a bit of erasure with certain
I
things.
see. Got it, German library. Okay.
The fuck is German?
You know, it's like a place near the UK, and
Who the fuck is Shaq?
you know, I wonder sometimes.
But yes, there is slight censorship through the arts that are present in the Northern Wind. You guys head into this big library. It's a pretty pretty large library. It's actually got like a nice park out front. It's like pretty well kept. You can tell that this is it's a somewhat major area. You guys go in there, and you are looking for what exactly?
Looking for anything that could correlate with what I feel. So I guess I look for books around the Chainlands or about the Chainlands, and I ruffle pages.
Okay, well, Chainland stuff is over there, and the librarian points you to where stuff on the Chainlands would be. I want you to get there and roll Dex for me. See if anything
very much,
catches your
librarian.
eye.
I don't
Ooh,
notice
don't
anything.
Notice shit, brother.
The bindings are all like worn down. I'm like looking at them. I'm like, Osei, my literacy has gone down quite a bit in recent times. I had a headache earlier today. It's been tough.
No worries, Cross. I can help you with that.
Yeah, Osei, you can roll Dex.
Could I like try and? Sorry, I'll ask in a sec. I'll ask.
No, you go for it. He already did the roll because like he got the roll. Go for it.
Yeah, it's a separate thing
Oh,
from
okay.
the roll. Yeah.
So, Osei finds a few books that might pertain to Crosswise, some things related to the history of the Chainlands. It seems to be a place that Augustine holds in pretty high regard, which makes sense, seeing as he is a first-generation living weapon, which there aren't many of. You guys are hanging around with 2 of them, obviously, but it's actually pretty rare. Crosswise is what would be considered a second-generation living weapon. People don't really know what the separation is, other than first generations. They know what the separation is, but it's like a secret. Like they don't tell people what makes the difference. But it holds the Chainlands in pretty high regards and talks about how the Chainlands is it is where living weapons true powers come from, is the Chainlands, is what it talks about. And So you find books about that. You find books about some of the historical wars that have happened in the Chainlands. That like a few living weapons names come up, but there some of them are erased because these books are like pretty public knowledge, and so it's like you can't just have people's names in there that might get like tracked down because living weapons are like still semi-targeted for like how powerful they are. And so that's why many of them don't like openly state that they are. And so Crosswise does find like a few that catches interest. I guess you can roll int for me, Crosswise. You do notice in one of those historical war books a tale of a like of a knight of Tyrfing the knight, which like you see that and it makes your head start hurting, but you're able to continue reading and you can tell like there's a little bit in the story about like, you know, 3 different, like actually not 3, like around 5 different like kings and like high ranking individuals that were important in this war. And you read the name of one of them and it doesn't cause you to black out this time, but it's just incomprehensible to you. Like you just can't read the name. And you see the name Count Landry mentioned, which you see that and it inherently like triggers something in your brain. It doesn't cause Mad with Power to happen, but it causes like the feeling of it. Like you still retain your senses and stuff, but for a second you see that name and you go, like you can tell like there's an attachment to that name that's like related to how you currently feel. When you read that name, Osei, roll Dex for me.
Okay.
You see Crosswise's spirit chain glow slightly when he reads that name. And upon noticing this, you recognize that the person that the chain he currently has is attached to could potentially either be linked to that name or be the person with that name. And so with that knowledge, you are able to deduce like, okay, we gotta find whoever this Count Landry guy is.
Cross.
My head hurts
Are you
so
o-
much.
Are you all right?
Oh, I'll recover, but keep this book or ask the librarian to let you have it. If you have to pay a sum, pay whatever it is.
Will do. We'll have to go ask. But before that, I noticed something about the spirit tether. It's glowing.
How strange.
Yeah, but it's weird. It almost seems like it's reactive to the information of the book, specifically to that count.
Yeah, he seems important somehow.
I kind of want to save this conversation for later. It seems like you're taking damage when we talk about this.
That's not that severe, but I agree. Whoever that count is, you know, you take point on tracking him down, and I'll take point on doing whatever needs to be done.
If we go any further, Cross, are you sure you're gonna be all right? I don't want to hurt you anymore. More than we have to.
Nothing hurts more than forgetting everything. It's okay, Osei. I can withstand anything.
That's really funny. Nothing hurts more than forgetting everything.
Okay. I trust you, buddy. All right.
And
Come on.
He pats you on the shoulder, and he hopes to be let up. So you help him up.
I'll help him up. Yep.
All right.
You ask the librarian about the book, and she just tells you, hey, just bring it back within like a week. Fine. You can check it out.
Thank you so much, librarian.
Hmm.
We really do appreciate it.
And with that, you guys are able to take the book with you and head out.
Before we leave, I
Mhm.
wanted to like I was raised here. I was trained in Key. Can I be like, okay, this is the most like dense with knowledge book of Key that we have? Because that would be one of the things that library is accurate in, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah, you can roll me in.
Okay. Gotcha. Guys, there's a book I read when I was younger that helped the Key stuff. I know it's a lot to get used to, but a book I read when I was younger that kind of made it all click into place for me. Maybe you guys can take a look at it.
Yes, I don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
I grab the
I
book and
greatly
look at it.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys can take that book with you and you check out the other one. And when you get downtime, you can read it to get more familiar with Key stuff.
Add it to your inventory, Osei.
Yes.
Tries to
Will
stand
do.
up a bit more on his own.
Got you. I got you.
Yeah, I help up Crosswise.
Yes. And if you guys can choose to go to the inn, meet the contact you guys have that'll tell you about the stuff involving Augustine. Or if there's anything else you want to do, you can.
I'd like to lay down.
I need some
Would
sleep.
meeting Augustine end the session?
You will meet the contact and then rest, and then if you guys want to continue the session after that, we can. But if you guys want to end it on a rest, then we also can do that. That'll be up to you.
Yeah, it's up to you guys. I'm cool with whatever.
Yeah. I vote for it on the rest.
Okay, you want to end on the rest? Okay. Well then,
I'm cool with that. I feel like we have covered a lot of ground.
yeah, so you guys will head back to the inn and meet this contact. He sees all of you enter and kind of like talks to you, points you to your rooms, and he's like, hey, you'll be meeting Augustine tomorrow. He just tells you like, the directions to the front of the castle, the Capitol building, and he tells you guys a little bit of rundown of stuff that's been happening, but it's basically shit that you all know at this point. And he's like, I'll actually roll in with him. He's like kind of smart, so he might tell this, he might not. He does tell this. So he tells you guys that Augustine's initial words to you guys were partially a ruse. The reason that his message was as threatening as it was because one, he knew it would spur you into action, and two, it was the only way that he could pass notes through that like to you guys without it being like suspicious to onlookers. But he states that Augustine actually has you guys here for a different purpose than what was initially stated. The taxation or war thing, it wasn't as legitimate a claim as it was threatened to be.
Okay.
And so, yeah, with that information, he's like, yeah, as long as you guys know, like, they're, it's bigger than whatever stupid message was sent. So, yeah, good luck. And then he like leaves, and you guys are in the inn. If there's any last second things you want to do, you can. If not, then you can just rest for the night.
I will lay on the bed.
Okay.
And simulate sleep, but no, it will never bring itself to me.
I'm hitting snooze.
You're hitting snooze. Then yeah, with that being the case, if you guys are all gonna rest, we will end the session for now. So, any words for the people before we end it?
Thank you all for watching. It's been a great time, and
Yeah.
I love all you viewers, and you're awesome, especially the ones that like. Those ones I like twice as much. So
Those ones I like twice as much.
Yep.
Yeah, big lore session, lore moment. Also, Osei fucking rocks. What?